Guys, subscribe to the channel and let's get 500 likes and I will release a new part. Chapter 1-0. The hero is Zhang Hao, a simple office plankton with an unremarkable name who he can face 107,374 people all over the country. One day, as he was returning home, something happened. Walking down a deserted street late at night, the guy complained that his work was too tiring, so he couldn't do it anymore. Stay in this company. When he looked up at the sky, he saw a red moon. He woke up in a completely different bed in pink pajamas. A pile of stuffed animals lay nearby. In the world, a man raises children, and a woman is the head of the family. Modern men rely on women, and they, in turn, have unlimited power, capable of move bricks. Men here, in comparison with women, are physically weak and cowardly. The man is a delicate flower, and the woman is Barbie King Kong. Zhang Hao is so weak that he can't even open the bottle on his own. This weakness, it annoys him, because he feels like he's a wet chicken that can't even eat. Unscrew the bottle cap. The hero decided to call this place the world of rich mothers. Crowds came up to him, offering their help. They thought he was a Prince Charming, but Zhang Hao couldn't accept this arrangement. He vowed to go up and become a hero, a real man in this world. So he suddenly has a stepsister, a goddess who is ready to cover him with her body, and also a pure and innocent follower. What a domineering director. He can. To say one thing for sure, in this world, you can actively live at the expense of women. His name is Zhang Hao. He's a natural straight guy and a 24-karat guy. His life turned upside down after entering a new world. He thought it was all kind of stupid. It was a joke, but the reality was full of disappointments. He remembered coming home from work and seeing a huge red moon in the sky, and then he woke up in another world. Pink pajamas, bunny ears on the head, and a different bed. Everything has changed. The nurse outside the door asked if he was going to get up. After that, his father came to his room, who decided to clarify whether his son was going to walk with him today. Lunch shopping. The man also noted that he goes to the grocery store to get ready for dinner with Aunt Zhang. The father asked his son to learn how to properly take care of himself from moon. The man closed the door, telling me to hurry. Hao, sitting up in bed, was trying to sort out the whole situations. A lot of questions popped up in his head. Who is he? Where is he? Who is Chen? Chen is his father's last name. Who is Lun? He's a grown-up guy, but he has to dress up and go. Where should I go? Had he gone mad? Then the ringing of the phone makes the guy distract from his thoughts. He picks up the phone. Voice. A young guy from the phone asks to open the door. The hero notices that this voice is for him. A sign. He recalls from his past life Brother Moon with a tattoo on his arm. It was fair and a brave man. He was the older brother that Hao had always admired. Hero. He takes off, quickly changing his clothes. This was his ray of hope. Opening the door, instead of a pumped-up brother, he sees a thin, blonde man who complains that my friend hadn't opened the door for so long and kept a handsome man like him waiting for so long, and yet he might have been molested. Hao looks out of the door, looking around and calling for his brother. Moon. The blonde guy yells that it's him. Father greets Lun. A man evaluates beauty. A guest, saying that his son should learn from him because guys should look beautiful. The harrier is the same. Suggests Hao go for a beauty treatment sometime. The hero's eyes widen. He falls into a stupor from the following questions. Married? Skin care. All this leads to the question, where did it end up? It turns out that in this world, the gender characteristics of men and women have been reversed. Women became emperors and celebrities. Men were responsible for the home, and women were responsible for the home. Women were the mainstay of the family. Men are protected by women, and women, in turn, are protected by women. Have unlimited power. Men are here, compared to women, physically weak and cowardly. Men are responsible for raising children, and women do all the work, physical work. Moreover, the significant role of women has led to a breakdown in the balance between the ratio of the number of men and women, so men are a treasure. Walking down the street, one holds the hero's arm. He asks him to buy a mask first, and then they go for a walk. Manicure. The blonde notices that this time someone has used his mask again, and also stands by a can of gas, and then recently divorced a lot of women maniacs. How same. She mentally asks him to buy a knife and stab him to death, because there is nothing left in this world. Men who made the world go crazy. Hao grabs his friend by the arm, declaring that it's time for him to regain his manhood. He leads it in the tattoo center, after which, having opened the door right from the threshold, he demands to make him a dragon tattoo for the whole life. My back. The blonde man thinks that his brother has gone mad, and the hero declares that he is not crazy, but just she wants to show him who a real man is. Girls that do inside the tattoo notice that it's not so easy for guys to get a tattoo. Another girl notes that this is not for sissies. Hao shouts so that everyone sees a real man. He sheds his t-shirt, leaving his torso bare. The girls freeze for a moment, and then they start to bleed from the nose. He shouts what he wants, a dragon and a white tiger on the entire back and chest. The girls want him to keep undressing. Mun holds the hero by the torso, asking for help because he behaves like a patient. Closer to. In the evening, Hao returns home. He's so tired that he goes to his sister's room. Accidentally. Her name is Zhang Kaiyan. Seeing her in the room, he apologizes, saying that he got it wrong. Doors. At dinner, the hero looks around, trying to figure out what kind of people they are. My father reminds me. He told his son that he had been told more than once that Aunt Yan and Zhang Kaiyan were coming over for dinner. Hero. He apologizes for forgetting. Aunt Yan notices that it's okay, because they understand everything. That Hao has many lessons. Zhang Kaiyan smiles at this. Turns out Dad's getting married again. Right now, this is his aunt and stepsister, who they will be living with in a few days. The woman praises the man, noting that his skills are getting better and better, and that, in turn, he claims that he was preparing for their arrival. Hao says that he is full, so he will go to his room. The guy falls on the bed, glad that this day is over. It's hard for him to put up with all this, wearing cute clothes, cute makeup, and being sexually harassed. However, he doubts that he has moved into the feminist world. Looking at teddy bears and remembering that his father and brother Long have become feminine, the hero realizes that something is waiting for him. However, he doesn't want such a fate for himself, so he decides to find a way to return. Out of anger, he throws a teddy bear, which hits the sister who enters his room. He wants to apologize for his actions, but his sister climbs onto the bed, putting pressure on top of him. Kin just prints the hero and his pineapples, asking if he downloaded it. The guy doesn't know that, and to answer, when the girl pulls him away from her, she notices that his face is flushed. Therefore, she clarifies whether he is ill. The same person quickly comes to his senses, claiming that everything is fine with him, and an idea appears in his thoughts. What is possible and not worth returning to your own world? The girl with pink hair asks if the other person remembers, because it was she who brought him. Here, the beauty grabs the hero by the chin, getting very close to his face. She remembers that night with Blood Moon and realizes that she's the one who's involved, so he has a lot of questions. He wants to know who she is and why she moved him to this damned world. Mir, the interlocutor, introduces herself as the god of the Blood Moon. She remembers that guy all the time. He complained that he didn't have a girlfriend, and that he was still a virgin, and there were a lot of girls in this world. Girls and all of them love it. Hao also says that this is complete nonsense, because in this world there is no one normal person, so he asks to be brought back faster. The goddess states that this is not a problem, but he must complete one task. The hero decides. Specify the task in question. The interviewee asks if he didn't want to become a real man. Here the hero remembers that girls watch cute anime, and guys watch Gundam. A real man should rock his torso. It's terrible when it's hard for a man to even read a book. Hold it, because a true man can open a bottle with his bare hands. The goddess puts this. The condition is that if he becomes a true man in this feminist world, then he will have a chance. Go back. But if he fails this task, then disappear into this world. Hao decides to make it clear to disappear into the world. This means that he will become a woman. The goddess laughs, saying that this can happen, too. She hoped that he would have a good time, after which, dissolves like a ghost. The hero asks her to wait, because she did not say how to get here. A real man. In the morning, the guy wakes up. He thinks he had a strange dream yesterday. However, when he sees the ribbon of the goddess clothing on the floor, he realizes that it was not a dream. While brushing his teeth, Hao notices that he really will have to complete this task, but he will not be able to do it. It's still unclear what a real man means in this world. It's hard for him to accept, however. He definitely looks like a girl now. He decides that he should first learn more about in this world, so that you can deal with the task later. Reading the newspapers, Hao can't believe his eyes. It sounds too unusual to be true. In this world, there is still a way to evaluate a man. First of all, in this world, girls are more likely to be active and shivering and goosebumps on the body, weakness, which is characteristic of a physiological reaction. Guys, reading this, Hao doesn't realize how much he still has to memorize. He cares, whether there is another way to return home. The guy decides to put the god of the Blood Moon aside, because there must be a scientific explanation for everything. First, he needs to study the strange sky, the apparition that night. He assumes it's just a change in the magnetic field. Hao decides not to. This is a strange assignment to rely on. However, he is not an expert in this area, although he is. Maybe hire someone. Then the realization of reality hits him on the head, because he doesn't know who it is. He needs to look and see what he can tell him. And he's a penniless high school student. Hero. He understands that he has to get some money first. After leaving the room, Hao finds himself in the kitchen, where Sister Kin wishes him a good morning, as well as her. encourages him to quickly try the breakfast she has prepared. The guy agrees, though. He makes a mental note that if all the girls in this world are like his sister, then he will. He can hardly hold out. My sister urges my brother to hurry up. The hero also notices that Cha Zhang is eating his father's tofu. The guy says that he is going to school, and Lun is waiting for him. His father asks him to bring it with him. A sandwich. Lun and Hao walk arm in arm on the street. The blonde asks his brother to look at the new color of his labia. Lipsticks to evaluate, because this is the hit of the season. The hero pushes his friend's face away from his own faces, urging them to keep their distance on the street. Lun doesn't understand what happened to him because they used to do this a lot. Hao wraps his arms around the blonde's neck, saying that it just so happens that he has. There are new principles, the purpose of which is to turn him into a man. What the hero said scares the harrier because you can't talk about this at all and there's nothing in it. A good one because he can't get married. Zhang Hao grins at this, thinking that it's not much. I got closer to my goal. The blonde guy suggests that they go quickly because the maniac is looking at them. The hero decides to find out where she is. Mun looks at the stalker's place, and really from around the corner, a girl in a tracksuit peeks out, noticing that high school students really are good. Zhang Hao doesn't understand why they should be afraid, since they are two healthy guys. It asks for, don't worry, because if she dares to approach them, he will send her away. The harrier notices that a friend is talking complete nonsense because he can't even lift a brick. Blonde grabs a friend. As he is about to run away, Zhang Hao declares that he used to be a good fighter. The blonde one, he notices that these are all dreams, and they should go the other way. As a result, the harrier still pulls away for a hero's image. The blonde guy complains because he's sweating, which is why now he'll have to put on makeup again. Zhang Hao didn't. He understands how he can run so fast, because after only 2 steps he started to choke. Here it is. Looks up at the school. It's a huge Alliston business school. Walking down the street to school, the guy realizes that in this world really all the menial work performed by girls. He assumes that his family is super rich if he goes to such an expensive school. Entering class 11B, Zhang Hao sees a picture of a classmate asking for a friend. Open the bottle for him. It really annoys him because he doesn't want to be so weak. A man who can't open a bottle himself is not a man at all. He snatches the bottle out of the hands of a classmate, declaring that he will open the bottle himself because he just doesn't believe it can be that hard. He starts twirling the lid, noting that, imagine that it is quite tightly twisted. His hands are shaking. Zhang Hao makes a small attempt. Take a breather, thinking that you chose the wrong position for this. Further, he invests all his strength too. The guy spends all his strength, but the bottle comes out victorious from this battle. It asks for, I apologize, returning the bottle to the girl. It feels like a wet chicken that's not even wet. He can't open the bottle. At this time, a representative of the fair sex easily opens a bottle for a classmate. Then a crowd of girls breaks down to the hero, wanting to help. Zhang Hao sits down at his desk, burying his head in it. Lun defends him from attacks by asking him not to pay attention, because he has recently been unwell, so he may be strange. Express yourself. The hero feels that the situation completely sucks, because his task is completed on 0%. He decides to play sports so he can complete the damn task. Beauties surround the guy's desk from all sides. They like his hands with their white and soft skin, its slim waist and beautiful rear view. They just can't neither fall in love with it. Zhang Hao, he understands that he can't go on like this anymore, because even if he's a handsome guy, he's too much weak. He decides to find a place to train. Picking up the phone, he searches for a suitable location. To him on, I see an ad about Thai boxing classes for beginners. Realizing that physical training will not be enough, he also decides that he needs to work harder over mental training. He flips through all sorts of ads on the internet, looking for suitable. Zhang Hao decides to make a reminder to himself on his phone. Then he comes up to his desk. Girl, he leans over him, asking what he's doing. This turns out to be his desk mate, Huang Yuanyuan. The hero grabs the heart, specifying why she walks so silently, like a ghost. The blonde replies that he doesn't walk at all, noiseless, and it's just that the guy was so busy that he didn't hear it. Then the girl leans over sharply, a guy asking if he writes to some girl he likes. They are separated by a total of a few centimeters. The hero pushes the interlocutor away from him, stating that the guys and girls, you can't be so close. Yuan grabs the hero's hand, removing it from his shoulder and saying that his hands are really very white. They are delicate, and the pollen is long and beautiful. Zhang Hao marvels at the riskiness of the girls in this. Mira, because she just put his hand on her pineapple. The hero takes his emotions under control and pulls the hand out of the seductress's clutches, asking her to be careful. Interviewee notices that the guy is a little weird today, and that he wasn't like that before. Zhang Hao, He says she was imagining it, and he always was. The blonde assumes that Hao didn't get enough sleep, so she suggests that he get a massage on. One ancient technique. The guy tries to stop her, but in his mind's eye, he's surprised by the fact that she's not there. How strong it is. The bell to class saves him. A teacher enters the classroom and asks, "Everyone take their seats in connection with the start of the lesson." This is Teacher Ma, an English teacher and a class teacher, head of class 11B. Reading his notes, the hero is amazed that he understands everything, although he graduated from high school a long time ago. It is important to understand that Zhang Hao was not proficient in English. The guy, realizing that the content of the book, it is not difficult for him. He highlights the first benefit in the new world. He has become a genius. It raises a glance at Teacher Ma, literally asking him to call him to the blackboard so that he could show himself. The teacher turns to him, and the guy thinks this is his chance. The teacher thought that the guy was not feeling well because his lips seemed to be cramped, so I offered to go to the infirmary. All eyes are on the guy, and he swears at me. The teacher, he says she just imagined it. The girls begin to discuss what happened. One of them notices that something is wrong with the prince today, but she doesn't want her perfect boyfriend to see her. The prince's image was destroyed. A friend says that Hao is very handsome, but just now he was. He looks like a retard. The first beauty says that she heard several times. A few days ago, the prince almost got into a fight. The hero covers his face with his hands, counting all those present. Stupid. He really wants this to be a dream. Chapter 1-5. While walking down the stairs, a guy falls to the floor in front of Zhang Hao, who declares that he has conceded. The man pushed him out of the way. The hero makes a hand-face gesture, considering everything that is happening a horror. After all, going to this school is even more terrible than going to work in 996. He really wants to go back to his own world. Walking down the street with Lun, they are stopped by the voice of a girl who wants to say something to Hao. She admits that she likes him for a long time and offers to start dating. The hero is the same. Mentally emphasizes that this is actually a standard male manner of recognition. He apologizes, saying that he doesn't plan to start dating yet. Friends leave, and the brother declares, which greatly envies Hao, because all the excellent students from each course like him. Zhang Hao asks the other person to keep track of their words. They go to the dining room. Zhang Hao wonders what to eat. Then he notices that one of the guys has taken two small pieces of fish and something else. He doesn't understand how you can eat so little. The harrier counts. It's strange that Hao has been calling him brother lately. In addition, he notices that they don't usually talk. Lun orders 1 serving of greens and 1 serving of spinach, serving small and without rice. Zhang Hao believes that it is possible to faint just like that. The blonde guy doesn't understand. What are we talking about? Because recently he has been on a diet and constantly eats vegetables. The hero believes that the guys in this world have 2 small stomachs. It has a list of notes, which you need to perform to become a real man. First, train and strengthen health and spirit. Second, be sure to ask Brother Lun to give him a more brutal treatment. Nickname. Third, get rid of all the lace shirts in the closet. Fourth, always take care of your mental health. He decides that he needs to order the largest portions and add this to your memo. The hero makes an order, causing a friend to panic, who believes that he is the right person. He'll get fat very quickly. Zhang Hao also believes that guys should eat a lot, otherwise it won't grow. The audience discusses this event among themselves. One of the guys thinks that, after eating so much, the prince decides to challenge gluttony. His interlocutor states that if he had a figure like Zhang Hao, then he could also endlessly eat stewed meat. He notes that if there are so many, you can die. A friend notices that it looks very appetizing. One of the guys doesn't understand how Zhang Hao can eat so much. He believes that the whole problem is in his popularity. One of those present decides to approach and say hello, otherwise it will seem rude. The harrier asks a friend to eat more normally, because it looks terribly uncultured, which is why he is so tired. They will laugh at him. Another person approaches the guys, forcing them to pay attention to themselves. Attention. The unknown person claims that Zhang Hao has so much that he is a working immigrant. This, Liu Feng from 12D. The hero decides to find out who he is communicating with. The same takes it for a joke, because a few days ago, they went to a self-study class together. The guy notes that they are not. We've only seen each other for 2 days, but he's gotten fatter. Liu emphasizes that you need to watch her figure. Despite its popularity, the guy is trying to hurt the interlocutor by saying that he is fat today, and the hero also reports that he has vision problems and needs to be treated. Zhang thought, Hao doesn't understand what this slut-looking guy is all about. After that, the hero clarifies why. The interlocutor looks down on the expat workers. The guy explains that if it weren't for the uncles and the immigrant aunts who worked tirelessly on the construction of their state, then I wouldn't be living such a carefree life right now. Liu Feng starts crying at these words, claiming that he only said it for his own good, so he hadn't expected his companion to say such a thing. The girls are amazed that Zhang Hao made Liu Feng cry. They clearly didn't expect Zhang Hao to be so violent. The image of God was completely destroyed. Liu Feng also grins, noticing to himself that all the girls are on the same level. On his side, here a representative of the fair sex intervenes. She says that how much Hao there is up to him. She does not understand who said that you cannot eat too much, because this is not a good idea. Discrimination and prejudice. At the same time, the girl sits down at the same table with the hero and his friend. She asks if the hero is hungry today, after which she offers him to take more because she has a large portion. Zhang Hao marvels at the appearance of another beauty. The friends try to calm Liu Feng down. One says that Zhao Ying was just fascinated by him. Looks, that's why I fell in love. Another person notices that Feng is much more attractive than himself, but the guy assures that he is not worried at all, because sooner or later she will see the true face. Zhang Hao, after all, is rude and mean. The girl asks him not to rush, because otherwise he will choke. She asks me to start with the soup. The hero decides to ask her brother who she is. One explains that this is Zhang Ying is from a parallel class that has been taking care of him for a long time. The girl is also commander of the national basketball team. Zhang Hao notes to himself that the culture of courtship really excellent. Zhang Ying also decides to find out how Lun Lun is playing the League of Heroes, which she gave it last time. The guy admits that he tried to play, but it is very difficult, and it's hard for guys to play it. At this point, the hero connects to the conversation, asking if it's still going on. We are talking about the game where you need to pass the tower 5 by 5. The brother confirms this by noting that in last time, the guy said he wasn't interested in girls' games. Zhang Hao admits to himself that he had no idea that his League of Heroes was in this world. Girl notes that despite the fact that there are no guys among professional players, they are playing, so she asks how Hao is playing this game. The guy tells me that he once played in her, and she's normal. After that, he gets up from the table, noting that he is full, so he will go to class. He suggests that Lun Lun go with him. The blonde forgives Xiao Ying by saying that it's time for them to go to class. The girl doesn't know when Hao is already paying attention to her. The hero recalls Xiao Ying's words that there are no guys in the Hero League's top player ranking, and this means that the best players among the guys of the commander and machine gun are also absent. He decides what needs to be done. It will be hard to find the time to watch the broadcast, because after all, this is a game for everyone. Real men. Zhang Hao then turns his attention to the girl by the window. He decides to ask why Brother Lun about her. This is Ming Yu Hua, a transfer student. The blonde man notices that she doesn't like it. He likes to talk, but he thinks she's very pretty. The hero decides to specify whether they like it, whether it's for him. Zhang Hao takes matters into her own hands, forcing a friend to go and talk to her to prove his point. Enthusiasm. Lun also doesn't understand what his brother is doing, because guys should behave more properly. Restrained. The hero also declares that this was the case before, and now if the guy said the guy did, Zhang Hao presses for pity, saying that a friend can't leave a new one alone. A classmate. The hero approaches the girl and introduces himself. The same one does a little detached. Same thing. The guy realizes that in this world all girls are not indifferent to him, but the interlocutor is not like that. The hero introduces his drog. He nervously greets, strongly embarrassed. Zhang Hao decides to check if she reads English. The girl gives a positive response. The blonde asks her to leave quickly because she doesn't want to talk to them. After hearing this, the hero directly asks if Yu Hua wants to talk to them. Such directness scares the blonde guy. The other person notices that she just doesn't know what to say. The hero also notices that the girl might have a slight social disorder. Lun is a little doubtful about this. The hero extends his hand, stating that he will help her communicate with people if they become friends. She shakes hands, impressed. Zhang Hao believes that a man will not leave a helpless girl alone, so it seems to him that he has come close to completing a mission. Then the girl next to me peeks out from behind me, asking if the best guy in the class is getting along. A handsome guy at school with a transferred student. The hero also understands that the first friend is Min. Yu Hua should be a real chatterbox. The guy pushes the blonde forward, calling her, "Show off your social skills and make friends with Yu Hua." The girl is a little doubtful, but as soon as the hero winks at her, she instantly agrees to this. He invites her to chat with Yu Hua, who doesn't know much about her. He wants her to show off her strengths while he takes a nap. The blonde guy agrees. The translated student thanks you for this. Zhang Hao thinks it's nothing. It also thinks that doing a real man's job. He wonders if that means he's made progress. 50% on his mission. The hero listens to rock and roll with headphones in his room. A nurse knocks on the door, asking login permission. The guy gives his consent, after which Kin decides to find out what he's doing. Zhang Hao replies that he's just listening to music. The guy's jaw is ready to say hello to the floor because the girl came to him in homemade underwear, which perfectly emphasizes her shape. The hero freezes from this for a few moments, so the girl is interested in what happened mentally. The guy realizes that his sister is just a divine beauty and that he likes her. Kin approaches him, then decides to listen to his music. He pulls out one earpiece, then quickly deduces that Hao is listening to rock. This is just. He convinces her that he is different from other men. Kin declares that he is very attractive. She takes his chin in her hand, tracing his lips with her thumb. Zhang Hao doesn't understand how. In general, you can resist this. He doesn't believe that this is the mission of a real man. His inner angel says that a real man should not succumb to temptation. Otherwise, this is not a man, but just an animal, so he needs to control himself. Orders a coworker to shut up, noting that a real man should be decisive, right, and why give up when it goes right into your hands? An argument begins between them, and the hero decides to give up on everything. He grabs his sister by the shoulders. The girl ends up on the bed, with Zhang Hao looming over her. She takes it all as if it were a dream. The game, so he asks if he likes it. The hero's hands reach out to his sister, and he himself feels like his sanity is leaving him. Then a familiar image of a girl appears in my head, who declares that he is. It belongs only to her, so she won't let him go. It makes the guy come to his senses. The hero abruptly pulls away from his sister, which causes alarm in the latter. He doesn't understand why. Took this image. Kin grabs his brother by the shoulders, asking if he's okay, because he's too much. He suddenly turned pale. Zhang Hao blames everything on anemia, saying that he will get better if he'll die. In his mind's eye, he knows that just a little more and he would have turned into a beast. Sister, she draws her brother to her, saying that men are very fragile, so he needs to take care of his own health. The guy accepts these words, mentally emphasizing that his sister is very soft. The hero is thinking of getting a little haircut, so he asks his sister for her opinion. The same company states, which will always support him. Zhang Hao realizes that the goddess is acting strangely, but he quickly finds out that the goddess is acting strangely. He doesn't think about it, because the iron has to be forged while it's still hot, so he decides tomorrow go to the barber shop, because the change in his image will start with his hair. The next day, he enters the barber shop building. He is met by a girl who immediately asks which one he needs to get a haircut, after which she pays attention to his beauty, assuring that find him the best master. The hero says that this should not be done, because he is not particularly scrupulous. After a few moments, he is met by a girl who asks him to sit down on a chair and tell her about his life. Hairstyle. The guy wants a hairstyle in the style of a girl. That is, to be cut as best they can and not. You need to try too hard to make it beautiful. These words confuse the girl a little, because this is the first time she's heard such strange wishes. She stares at the handsome man for a few seconds. Then it starts working. The barber thought that he was a special horse, that if he didn't speak well, it meant that he didn't know what to say. You need to do the opposite. Some time passes. The girl finishes the job by asking for a grade. The client about a hairstyle. The hero notes that she will go, and then specifies how much he will pay. I owe her. Zhang Hao mentally understands that no matter how carelessly they try to cut his hair, but he still so beautiful. The girl also declares that she does not need money because she just wants take a photo with him to use for advertising her hair salon. The guy refuses, wanting to pay. She hands him a business card, telling him to come to her next time, and if you have any other requests, then he will serve him at the highest level. The guy's already starting. Gradually get used to this celebrity. When he returns home, he realizes that this haircut, for some reason, it didn't add to his masculinity, but it looks beautiful. Realizing that one stage, the transformation is over, Zhang Hao decides to be reborn in this world completely new. A human being. The second stage of his transformation is the evaluation of clothing that meets his requirements. He opens the closet, which has a huge pile of very colorful clothes. He understands that he needs to be sure to change all your clothes. The hero begins a conversation with his father. He asks him to calm down, because it was his decision. Cut your hair so short, because it was hot because of the long hair. A man shakes all the time, so he picks up slipper from the floor, asking if he wanted to die by his hand, and who made him do this, and then the man specifies how after this he will marry something. Zhang Hao asks not to resort to domestic violence without hitting him so hard. My sister comes into the apartment and says he's in a hurry to find out what happened. Seeing the evil father, he asks him to calm down, because excitement is harmful to health. The man is the same. Says that Hao had his hair cut short without permission, so he can't stay here. Calm, which really gives him a headache now. The hero hugs Kin, pleading looking into her eyes. The same one decides to support him, saying that his brother already looks great, besides. But the work was done efficiently, and he himself warned her about this, so her father should not worry about it. The man also notices that Chang Kin is spoiling him a lot, so he doesn't know what to do. He demands that she talk to him again, so that he will realize his mistake. Throwing a spiteful looking at his son, he decides to go cook. Zhang Hao thanks his sister for the recent incident, because if it wasn't for her, he would have had to run away. Kin, the same, notes that she is his sister and should take care of him, after which she suggests that he go to her room because she has something for him. The guy is happy that he got a chance to go to the room of a beautiful creature. He was looking forward to this moment. They go to her room, after which the beauty tells that when they moved, then I've been too busy to prepare a gift for him, but now my sister is here. Give it to him. Kin opens a small box of jewelry, asking if you like it. They're his. The hero wants to refuse the gift because they are too expensive, but the sister assures that they're not expensive, and whatever he wants, his sister will buy it for him. When Zhang Hao returns to his room with the gift, he carefully evaluates it, assuming that he has. There are no problems with vision, because this is quite an expensive piece of jewelry. He decides what he should do. Also give something to Kyankin, or even return these expensive earrings by opening your balance on. Finally, the guy realizes that he only has a little more than 2 yuan left after going to a hair salon. Lun writes to the hero, informing him that his new novel has been released. A fragile and elegant guy, a cheeky boss, forbidden love. He was forced to run away from her, but there was nowhere to hide. Here in the head of the guy is born the idea that he can also write a novel, but for a start, he should. We need to come up with a story. Besides, the manuscript fee will be paid every day, right? They can save money quickly. The hero sits down at the computer, realizing that to write a novel about a domineering man will be very difficult. The guy decides to write about the great warrior, the city of women. It assumes that it is worth combine his world with its peculiarities and jokes into a story, and he will call it The Real One. A girl in a patriarchal world. The hero understands that everything is more or less fine with him, but it doesn't matter what world he is in to be there, because money is needed everywhere. Zhang Hao decides to send everything to the 4 sides, and just to celebrate what happened. It's a pity that right now he can only popsicle for 1 yuan. I can afford it. Approaching one of the shops, the guy gets a sense of nostalgia. The place looks familiar to him. He freezes for a few moments, and then a picture of the past comes back to him. It was in this place that he first saw Ame. She was a high school teacher and was very frail, but she stood firm, protecting him. Sister Ame is Uncle Jin's daughter from the post store next door. Then the beauty noticed that they live close. She invited the hero to her house for tea. At that moment, he thought that this must be the feeling. Love. And after that, he often went to this shop, until one day he did not know what to do. I confessed my feelings to my sister Ame. Zhang Hao was straightforward. Eating ice cream on the shops, he said he liked it. Ame also apologized, noting that she liked muscular guys, and he's too skinny. This was the impetus for the fact that the guy gave up the feeling of love, and that day he was like a madman, started pumping his muscles to become a man who can protect his sister. Zhang Hao notices that everything is different in this world, because here he is the idol of millions, so on. This time, she will definitely say yes. Entering the store, the hero hears a conversation between my daughter and father. The second one claims that she stays at home all the time instead of tearing up the 5th one. A point at work, so it's not clear to him how she's going to make money to bring in home a man. The girl believes that her father just takes out her brain because she is all the time engaged in physical labor. The man points out that this does not make any sense, because the Lai family's daughter is only a couple of years older than her, and she has already earned 300,000 for the ransom and bring an obedient hubby into the house. The girl does not see anything surprising in this, because it's only a measly 300,000, so she'd better go and unload a few trucks of bricks. The guy is surprised by this abuse, thinking that he should come back later. Here from behind the counter, Ame appears. At first, the guy thinks that his first love has not changed one iota, and then his little heart attack is not enough, because in front of him is a huge jock with the face of his first love. Girl, she snaps up to him, noticing that he has cut his hair. Zhang Hao falls to the pavement in fear, begging them not to approach him. The girl with the bright smile, she asks if he has something to do with her. The hero swears at God, demanding that he return it. My sister. Zhang Hao and Ame freeze in place. The girl asks if everything is fine with the guy, and then she offers to lean on it. The hero declares that it is not worth it, after which, having made 2 somersaults backwards, breaks the distance, saying that he is fine, and the time is already not childish, although there are things to do, so he won't keep his sister any longer. The girl asks the guy to give. At least she has her own WeChat. The hero also emphasizes that next time he will definitely give it. On the way home, Zhang Hao, swearing at the damn other world that turned the fragile girl Ame into a loud guy, understands that you need to sign up for Thai boxing, but this requires money. It also doesn't. He also forgot about the gift for Sister Kin. And he also had to sort out the clothes. Hero, he grabs his head, because money is needed everywhere, so only the devil knows when he will get there. To the riddle of the crimson moon. Then a familiar voice comes from the apartment. This is a sister who is happy that my brother was back. She asks him what he's talking about. Zhang Hao blushes red from embarrassment. Kinyi leaned his back against the wall, performs some kind of exercise. She is wearing tight clothes that emphasize her figure. Hero, it's a little surprising that girls in this world can also do yoga. A guy though, it is decided to find out if my sister does yoga. The beauty explains that she is already very tired from the girls who work out at the gym, and I thought about the sports they do. Men, Zhang Hao smiles nervously, noting to himself that yoga is actually just for men. They don't, so this world can't fool him. Kin takes his brother by the hand, suggesting that he also do yoga because he is too weak a guy. Also, you shouldn't be, otherwise the school will start to bully. The hero becomes offended that in the eyes of his sister, he looks weak. He thinks it's overkill. Zhang Hao abruptly grabs the girl's hand, offering them to do arm wrestling together. Kin agrees with a bright smile. The girl decides to put forward a condition that the loser will have to fulfill one wish. The winner. The guy agrees to this. Brother and sister fasten their hands together on the table, getting ready to begin. Zhang Hao makes a mental note that this isn't just arm wrestling, but it's a virtue of it. Men, the hero starts this battle. His hand is shaking from exertion. My sister is smiling. To him, while in a relaxed state, he marvels at her heroic strength. In his past life, men went through fire and water for the sake of survival and the maintenance of their families. And here it is. The opponent is a beautiful girl, so he just can't blow her. Kin notices that Hao held out for a very long time, and this is not a bad result. The hero is the same, mentally cursing because his arm started to hurt a lot. He assumes that his health is. It failed him, but he still has the peasant's willpower, which is harder than stone. The guy's entire body, it's shaking. The girl decides to end the competition because Hao might get hurt. She, with a confident movement, he presses his hand to the table, leaving him no chance of winning. After that, the girl takes the opponent's hand, specifying whether his hand hurts because he tried very hard. Zhang Hao says he's fine. He admits defeat, asking what his sister's desire is. Kin also says that she doesn't need anything special. She wants to feel her head on her lap. When Zhang Hao hears this, he is very confused, and then quickly comes to the conclusion that the other person, I shouldn't have expected it from my sister. He agrees to this desire, seeing no alternative way out. The sister abruptly puts her head on the guy's lap, which pretty much surprises the latter. By hero, when she is shocked, she notices that, as she thought, his knees are super comfortable, so it's like being in heaven. Zhang Hao only now realizes that his sister was going to be lying on his lap. After a while, Kin asks if she can lie down like this for a while longer. The guy gives his own consent, mentally allowing her to lie like this for an eternity, because a real man does not need anything. It refuses. In the morning, the guy is woken up by the voice of Lun, who came to him with his sister. The hero is a little dissatisfied. This development, noting that in a previous life he was a slave, and in the same papadance. Zhang Hao says that Brother Lun came very quickly. The same reminds you to make a friend bigger. I didn't call him that. Then the friend's little sister jumps on the hero's neck, calling him little brother. He looks for salvation in the eyes of the harrier, and he only sighs heavily. The child looks up at the hero, not believing that he does not remember her. In front of the girl, tears welling up. This is Lin. She is 6 years old and is the younger sister of Lin and Lun. The blonde man points out that it's not surprising that Zhang Hao doesn't remember her, since he saw her when she was 4 years old. He pulls the baby away from his friend. The guy offers to go to the house for a start, though he notices in his mind's eye that his brother didn't really have a little sister. Here Papadanitz feels the touch of the handles to his 5th point. The little girl decided to take advantage of, take a chance and feel the handsome guy that all the girls are running after. After entering the room, Zhang Hao claims that I don't want to go to the amusement park because it's too big for me. Boring. The blonde says that it is not boring there, because a new entertainment has opened in the park. A team of ghosts, and they should definitely help Mingyu Hua with her society illness. Lun says that he is not an expert, but it definitely doesn't hurt to take a walk and relax. At the same time, the girl puts on the hero's school uniform, and then finds his photos. Zhang Hao recalls an unsociable classmate who recently transferred to their class after. He agrees to go, but needs to change his clothes first. A real man doesn't go back on his word for help. Zhang Hao changes into more casual clothes. I prefer men's clothing. The little girl's jaw dropped at this, so she takes pictures of it on her phone. Lun also understands that women should wait for men. However, he doesn't want to keep Ms. Huang waiting either. Friends go on the road. Two girls are waiting for the guys to arrive. The harrier is the first to notice them, which he immediately informs the hero about. The next-door neighbor immediately greets Zhang Hao, and then, noticing the girl, decides to find out who she is. She's like that. A small bug clings to the hand of a hitman, claiming that it came with Hao Hao, her brother. He pulls her away, telling her that it's her little sister Lin Lin, who, after hearing that he's going to go today, she'd gone to the ghost room, followed him, and now he had to keep an eye on her. The neighbor also notes that it is rare to see Hao Hao in such clothes, and even with a new one. Hair, because it is not only beautiful, but also feels style and order. My desk mate decides to find out if Prince Wu Yuhua has become more beautiful. Zhang Hao asks you to leave your compliments and go to entertainment, but the unsociable girl still finds the strength to say something. She declares that today it is very beautiful. This surprises the hero a little, but he is fast. He comes to himself, stroking the girl on the top of her head and saying that she is well done since she started talking. After that, the group goes to the ghost room, not wanting to waste any more time. A neighbor at the desk suggests dividing into two groups because there are too many of them. In the same group, there would be her and Hao Hao, and in the other, Yuhua, Lun Lun, and Lingling. A girl is called by a friend too, that they should take care of the guys because she's a girl after all. She agrees with this. Here, the girl objects, saying that she wants to be together with Hao Hao. The hero enters the conversation. He asks Lin Lin to go with her brother because she is the bravest of them and he is the most skittish. There's no need to worry about him because he'll be together with Ming Yuhua. The guy quickly assessed the threat. Imagine, from the look on Huang Yuanyuan's face, if he was in the same group as her, then she would definitely harass him. He would be much more comfortable with Yuhua. Blonde gets sad from these words. Zhang Hao suggests that we go to a friend's group first so that they can see the road and they can go to the other group first. They will come for them in 10 minutes, and then he asks if Huang Yuanyuan is afraid. That grabs the members of his group, saying that the girl can't be afraid of something, so he can't be afraid of her. Worry about Lin Lin and Luna because she will protect them. The guy's ruse is successful, and the three enter the ghost room first. 10 minutes later, Zhang Hao notices that it's their turn. They enter the corridor, from which their screams can be heard. Friends, the hero learns that Huang Yuanyuan is also a coward. He goes first, and the girl moves. Follow him. The guy decides to find out if Yuhua is afraid. She doesn't say anything. Zhang Hao says that if she gets scared of something, she should just stick with him. The classmate gives a positive answer, after which she gently grabs her friend by the clothes. You can tell she's a little scared. The hero also throws the bone hand to the side, because it stood up. Across the road, when the ghost appears, the hero apologizes, saying that they are in a hurry. After some time, he understands that the room is quite large. 10 minutes pass, and Zhang Hao feels that something is wrong. He looks around, but there is no Yuhua behind him. The guy is a little surprised. Such a development of events, because the girl literally disappeared. It goes back to find her. The guy looks in all possible places, without ceasing to call the girl. Here in the locker, he hears a response from his friend. Zhang Hao decides to look into it, not realizing that she is there. Forgot. Yuhua, with her feet pressed against her body, says that she is lost. The hero is momentarily surprised by this development, after which he smiles good-naturedly, holding out his hand and telling her that she shouldn't be afraid, because he would help her. The girl accepts a helping hand, admitting to herself that Zhang Hao was the first person to be so kind to her. When they went outside, they found a funny picture. Lun was lying on the pavement, shivering with fear and shouting that he would never set foot here again. The blonde notes that the guy stunned its own roar. The girl is ashamed of the fact that her brother shouted so loudly. The hero leans over, a friend, in a hurry to find out how he is. The blonde is happy that Hao Hao and Yuhua are out. Huan Yuanyuan notices that they were gone for a long time. She wants to share her thoughts on why this is so, but Zhang Hao gives her a snap, telling her to stop imagining things. Thereafter, the guy calls Yuhua over to join the others. The girl is breathing heavily. Sweat runs down her face. Zhang Hao notices her condition without understanding what's going on. A representative of the fair sex unexpectedly breaks forward for everyone, embracing the hero. Chapter 1-13. The hero notices that she lost consciousness due to the fact that she caught a cold, so they should go to the bench to put it down. The other members of the group have nothing to say to this. After a while, they find themselves at the bench. Lun doesn't know what to do. He suggests CPR, but this is his first kiss. Hero mentally begs his friend to be quiet. The blonde also doesn't want this to happen, so she suggests pinching the girl to avoid it. She'd have to do CPR, and anyway, she'd already called an ambulance. The hero asks for it. Friends to buy some water and something to eat while he stayed with her and tried to stir her up. The guy puts the girl's head on his lap. He understands that if she lost consciousness for fear, then you need to try some kind of irritant. Jang Hao starts pinching Yu Hua's ears, which causes her to wake up. When it is fully implemented, when she opens her eyes, she immediately asks why he's doing this. The guy explains that she lost consciousness, so he tried to make her wake up. Interviewee admits that she was scared. A representative of the fair sex claims that now she is calm. The guy's hand is located on her cheek. The hero notes that they will no longer go to the ghost room, after which she asks if she has any pain. The girl gives a negative answer, noting that she wants to sleep. Yu Hua asks the guy not to leave. Jang Hao agrees, after which she falls asleep. The guy understands that he has met the most calm and gentle girl in this world, just her character is a little strange. After a while, the friends return with water and food. The girl takes a sitting position. Those present want to know how she feels and see if she's in pain. Yu Hua notes that she is fine. The blonde, having heard such an answer, offers to go have fun further. Jang Hao thinks that's enough for today, so he offers to walk Yu Hua home. Instead, he asks her permission to do so. The girl grabs the hero's hand, offering go together. Papadanitz agrees. Lun holds his sister, who is furious. It becomes, I wonder what happened between the two of them. Linlin declares that he also wants to stick with Nim by the handles. Huang Yuanyuan notices that he also wants to know, because she's holding his hand, and it was her dream. They get in the car. The blonde man notices that he's never been in this place before. The neighbor at the desk also understands that it is not very convenient for her to get to school since they lives in the suburbs. The hero asks them to be quiet for a while. The car stops at a huge gates. Huang Yuanyuan's jaw drops with envy. In the courtyard there is a beautiful and obviously expensive fountain. 2 maids and a butler meet them at the gate. The second notes that the lady should not have sneaking out of the house to have fun, because the master gave her instructions not to go like this, far away, so her actions would make him angry. Everyone's jaw drops to the ground, because no one could assume that Yu Hua turns out to be a majorette who lives in a rich mansion. Huang Yuan understands that Yu Hua's appearance doesn't tell you that she's rich at all. The harrier, surprised by the house, which looks like a real mansion. The hero also asks for comrades. React more calmly. He didn't expect that the new girl he was helping would be the same. Representative of the Golden Youth. Walking down the corridor, the butler notes once again that the lady went to such a far place today, and she still didn't bring any bodyguards, so if the master finds out about this, he will be worried, so she asks the mistress not to do it again. Yu Hua stops abruptly, determined to find out if mom and dad have returned home. Servants explains that the master has returned, but the mistress is still busy. The girl clutches the fabric of her dress, asking why her father didn't call her back. She says that he was busy abroad, but he prepared a gift for her and is already on his way back. A model of the tank that she likes. Servants perfectly understands the emotions of his mistress and sympathizes. It is obvious that she wants to be banal, care and communication with parents, not gifts. At this time, her friends are waiting for her at the table in. Huang Yuanyuan is the first to see her friend. She marvels at her beauty and her new clothes. Lun also doesn't. It remains on the sidelines. His eyes sparkle with stars from the luxury of this outfit. Only the hero decides. Keep quiet. It turns out that he was the only one who noticed one feature. Let the girl really look like more luxurious, but when compared to when they were together, now it looks like a lifeless doll. Jang Hao decides to ask what's wrong with her. The girl replies that dad is not happy again. I called her. The guy doesn't quite understand what this is all about. The other woman abruptly grabs her hand. The hero, Yu Hua, notices that she wants to give him something. The two of them go to her room. Once in it, the guy is very surprised. He knew that the girls of this world were very masculine. However, even his sister's room isn't so empty. Papadanitz decides to start a dialogue. Notices that the girl somehow became sad after she returned home. He recalls that she said that her dad hadn't called her, so he assumed that he was treating her badly. In his mind, he thinks that dads in this world are male moms. But in this manner, it's similar. Only Ming Yu Hua, her nanny, and the manager live, so the question is, where is she? Parents. The rich woman says that her dad loves her, but he is always busy. The hero decides to find out what's wrong with my mom. Her mom is also busy, so she's usually alone. This surprises the guy a little. Then, the girl explains that they are always busy with their own affairs. Because my mother is the mayor of the city, because of what she usually doesn't show up at home, and dad is always on business trips, earns a lot of money. The manager said they loved her. Sensing her sadness, Jang Hao puts her down, head on top of her head, saying that if she was lonely, she could call him, and he would call her. Wang Yuanyuan, Lin and Luanya. They were all her friends. Yu Hua grabs the hero's irk, saying that he needs to go with her. She pulls him along with her. After a few moments, they enter a room where various models of weapons are stored. The girl wants to give her favorite model to him, but the hero tries to refuse because he needs to. I don't really like this. In fact, Dad would just kill him if he brought that thing in home. The rich woman notes that this is the most expensive thing she has, and the manager said that friends, they give each other gifts. The girl wants to be his friend all her life. Zhang Hao moves the model of the machine gun to the side, noting that they can be friends without it. This thing, Yu Hua lashes out at the other person with a hug, stating that she wants him to. He stayed with her for the rest of his life and never left her. Evening comes. My friends are coming home. Lun notices that he could not have guessed that. Yu Hua is from a well-to-do family, and the way she changed into such a beautiful outfit made me want to see her. A blonde might want to buy something British style. The hero notices that a friend already has a closet from lots of outfits. Then Zhang Hao realizes that God himself has given him a chance to upgrade his own, the wardrobe, and for a long time he wanted to get rid of this shame. Unexpectedly, the hero suggests that the Harrier meet tomorrow for clothes since he is so impatient. They go to the mall. The blonde notices his friend's dark mood, so he decides to find out what's wrong with him. Guy, he replies that everything is fine. In fact, he had finally accumulated some Sabbat money, however, he's going to have to blow them away today, which makes him sad. Lun offers a friend various options, bright blouses, but Zhang Hao is going to get a set of a normal man. When they finish shopping, he finally understands why girls like shopping so much. The blonde man, realizing that the issue of buying clothes was closed, offers to go and eat because he hungry as a wolf. He notices that they're just passing Mac. At the checkout, they are greeted by a girl who says that all the presented sets are new products. Their friends start rating you menu at the checkout when one of the customers notices them. Zhang Hao shifts his gaze to the side that he doesn't get away from the attentive blonde guy who asks where he's looking. The Papadenites reply that they are not going anywhere, and then offer to order something already. He feels it himself, that someone was watching him. In fact, one of the girls took a picture of him on her phone, after which he was released. She wrote a post in social networks that she met just an incredible handsome man in McDonald's, and that she really wanted to marry him and take him home with her. The Harrier understands why Hao Hao is wearing a baseball cap. The hero explains that he is too beautiful, so he doesn't want to stand out. The blonde one realizes that a friend really needs to be careful. He even remembers that the school's celebrity Lin Zhongzhong doesn't go out of the gate without a girlfriend at all. The hero believes that he praises him too much. In the next instant, a chill ran down Zhang Hao's spine. Literally on an instinctive level, I felt the danger. At this time, girls in social networks post-stalker began to communicate. The first girl does not believe that such handsome people really are. They exist. The second believes that he is more beautiful than all celebrities and stars. The third states that these are empty words, so the author should lay out everything that is known about this handsome man. The next one notes that she has already seen it somewhere. The latter gets a lot of questions. She tries to remember, and then a message pops up in her head from her friend Lin Ling, who says she bragged about going to the amusement park with Hao Hao. Lun calls her younger sister and informs her that her photos in the poppy have been leaked online, so she needs to. It is worth visiting Weibo, because it is in 5th place in the top. Lin bites her clothes, because if she didn't know, she wouldn't post it in the status, because Hao Hao is only hers. The hero doesn't understand how one photo could make him famous. The guy reads what they write about him in social networks. One girl says that at first she did not believe how an ordinary person can be so beautiful and get into the top 4, but as soon as I signed up for it, I realized that it was just miracle. Another girl notices that the handsome man is most likely not of legal age, so she decides to find out if he is going to join show business. The third girl does not believe that. There's only one picture of him on the internet. She is willing to pay for others, and a lot of money. Even McDonald's itself tried to take advantage of the popularity of this post to attract more clients to him, saying that they still have a lot of beautiful guys. After seeing all of this, Zhang Hao believes is impossible, and most likely all of them wrote not about him. He decides that he will wait a couple of days. Maybe everyone will calm down and forget about him, realizing that the cases are already over for today. He decides to watch the game streams. First to him, games with half-naked beauties pop up, but he quickly switches to the right one. Stream. He is even a little happy that there is no such thing on real playgrounds. He notices that apart from live broadcasts, nothing much has changed in the women's games, so nothing has changed. Nothing terrible will happen if he plays them. Papadenites ask an important question, how much? He is generally years old, and I can generally stream minors. He is also aware that With his abilities, he can easily make money there. Then my sister comes into the apartment, who just came back. The hero greets her. Kin admits that she worked so hard at the research institute that she didn't even know what to do. I knew that during this time he became an internet star. Zhang Hao scratches the back of his head, a little surprised that she also knows this already. The girl menacingly looms over the guy, asking where they are going. Today, a couple with Lun Lun went. The guy says that Long Lun said he wanted to go. He went to get his things, and he was just about to buy some clothes himself. Zhang Hao feels that his sister, angry, she also leans over the guy and, looking directly into his eyes, asks if anyone has molested him. Something to do with it. He gives a negative answer, noting that she should not worry so much because he can take care of himself. Kin also says that Hao Hao is too naive because the women of this world are much more dangerous than men. He can imagine, and daddy only has an only son, so if something happens to him, if that happens, she won't be able to look a man in the eye. My sister asks Zhang Hao for two things. First of all, if any woman tries to molest him, he should definitely tell his sister. Second, if he goes out again, he should also let her know right away. Here the girl comes. Send a message to your phone. She pulls it out, and the hero can see her screensaver. He's a little. It is amazing that he is on it. Lun calls the hero on the phone, saying that there are now a huge number of people in front of the school. An ash stump they gathered to see him. The hero decides to go home, noticing what he needs. Ask Kai and Kin's sister for help, so that she can help him take time off, and then if he asks, she'll tell him everything. After writing a message, the hero immediately receives a response, from which it becomes clear that the sister will do everything. Zhang Hao thinks that it is very boring at home, so he decides to start streaming. The guy sits down at the computer, noticing that he is already an adult, and to be a streamer, probably much more profitable than taking exams for others. In addition, he had I played games. He clicks on the game's shortcut, launching it. The characters seem a little different to him. Strange, but the characteristics remained in their place, and only the appearance changed. He decides to give it a try. The hero spends the first game at an incredible level. Zhang Hao understands that his hands have not lost their former grip, and it's good to be young speed. The response is excellent. The guy realizes that he is still a god in gaming, so he decides to continue playing. It's getting close to evening. The hero stretches, deciding to take a short break, and after dinner already, try to start streaming. After 6, he informs all his family that he will go to his own school, a room. Only the sister notices her brother's unusual behavior. After entering his room, Zhang Hao launches its first stream. He's a little nervous. The game starts. One of the players is constantly following him, literally ignoring the game. Wherever the hero goes, he follows the same path. The opponent believes that the hero is actually a cheater. These characters are controlled by a girl. After the death of your partner, however, he starts the analysis, considering that the opponent was in a disadvantageous position, but to him, still managed to defeat him, which is impossible for a player of this level. The girl thinks that the enemy used some scripts. A script is a tool that helps you cheat in games. The girl declares that if the opponent did not cheat, then she is ready to eat her monitor. The girl decides to see how good this cheater is. Between the hero and the girl begins a game fight in which the guy repeatedly takes the upper hand. From the live broadcast chat, a few things become clear to the girl. The audience's opinion about the opponent was divided. Some do not see any scripts in his actions, while others cannot believe that the goddess. A sports you can lose to someone, so we are sure that the game is unfair. Same one. The viewer notices that the enemy is also streaming. The girl also asks not to go to his stream. After all, this guy is a noob and still does not know what kind of cheats there will be serious consequences. When the game ends, Zhang Hao admits that this player gave him a good beating. Here it is. Notices that the number of its viewers has increased dramatically. In the chat, a skirmish begins because they consider him a cheater and a peasant girl. The hero does not quite understand what is being said. He decides to use the microphone and explain that he's such and such a guy. The audience likes it. Voice, but someone on the stream says that it can be a program to change the voice. After all, the camera is not turned on anyway. The guy clarifies how viewers found his stream, after which he emphasizes that he doesn't need any cheats because he can handle it himself. Here it turns out that Goddess Yu opened his broadcast on her stream, which provided him with free PR. Zhang Hao has as many as 12,000 viewers on the stream. It amazes him. At this time in the game, Goddess Yu wants to add him as a friend. The guy is amazed that on the first day of the stream, he already has such an asset. The hero doesn't understand what all this fuss is about. He decides to meet them halfway, because once Goddess Yu also came to the stream, then he will now show how he plays. The guy installs a camera that only shows his hands. A professional athlete evaluates his aesthetic hands. She immediately realizes that she's playing against a real hunk, so she's happy to have joined him as a friend. The audience just can't believe their eyes. They realize that these are definitely men's hands, and they beg him to turn on the webcam. The guy doesn't know what to do. At the same time, a girl is watching Zhang Hao's stream in the office. She notices that if they sign a contract with this newcomer on the platform, then they will row money with a shovel because he has a lot of money on his hands. The stream already has 1,700,000 people. After finishing the stream, the hero decides to ask Loon tomorrow how things are going at school. Friends, they meet in a cafe. Zhang Hao immediately asks the blonde about the current situation. The same, he answers. The crowd is already smaller today. He assumes it's because they didn't catch him yesterday, so some did not come today, although there are still enough girls. Hero understands that a celebrity in the internet space is quickly disappearing, so tomorrow he will probably be able to go to school, but it is worth putting a hat on his head just in case. One decides to find out what Ha Hao has been doing for 2 days. The same honestly says that he wrote his own Roman, yes, stream spent. The last words make the guy jump up from his seat and run into the door. An interlocutor with a bunch of questions, because he could become even more popular during this time and earn a lot of money. Monies. The hero covers the blonde's mouth with his hand, silencing him. Zhang Hao admits that yesterday he just tried to stream for the first time, and there was nothing. He did not sign a contract with the streaming platform. At this point, he gets a message on his phone. A message asking them to contact their manager quickly to sign a contract, obtaining rights and privileges as a blogger due to the fact that his popularity has reached an exemplary level. Zhang Hao freezes in place, so the blonde man rushes to find out what's going on. Happened. The hero tells his friend everything as it is. The harrier rejoices for the friend, calling. It was faster to get a contract. And he always knew that such a handsome man was destined to become popular. And when he becomes a star and rakes in money with a shovel, he will be able to buy whatever his heart desires. The hero also notices that now he is a simple schoolboy, so if it affects his studies, then he will definitely be killed. Besides, if he becomes a celebrity, he won't. He will be able to have his own personal space, because he will know every little thing about it. The blonde one offers to lead a friend stream in a mask, because so it will only warm up the interest of viewers, and he just needs to sing and dance in front of the camera, and people will send him gifts themselves. Zhang Hao notes that he leads game streams, so you can do without a face. He emphasizes that he will try the friend option later. They leave the restaurant, but Papa Danitz, he feels that someone is sitting on his tail. For this reason, he tells a friend what he needs in a supermarket that would make it impossible for him to go with it. The blonde man runs home, asking Zhang Hao to be his friend. Careful. After that, the guy asks the 2 pursuers to get out. A few girls come out of the corner. Their main thing is that the guy is a real ladies' man, and he is, just like the picture she took. The girl says she will take care of him. The hero is the same, decides to find out who he's dealing with.